Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dimmed lighting, we're going to give the perfect prescription to ruin a wedding.
Yep.
Because you need to have that in your back pocket. Boy, we are
Important
so
life skill.
here to help. And I'm really loving the voicemails that you're leaving us, boy. Get a load of what we got today. And if you want to pile on to the load, we want you to do that. 1-888-EARPOD1. You feeling good? You want to get into it? You got something else you need to tell me?
I've had nothing significant happen in my life that you probably don't already know about. I mean, last night we were together.
Mm-hmm.
We went to an event.
Yep. Shout out to Michelle Khare and her. I mean, she released a feature length
episode of Challenge Accepted, 90-day black belt.
We went to that. Freaking. I mean, she.
Well, hey, no spoilers.
She went through the process of getting a black belt in 90 days, and it ain't easy to get a black belt, is what I learned.
I already knew this about Michelle Khare. I already knew that she was a badass.
Good God.
Because she does a lot of badass things.
She's like
the
nicest person.
You watch this thing and you're just like,
She's the nicest badass person.
I would not want her to be my adversary.
No.
I wouldn't want her to be coming after me.
She'd kill you with kindness and a roundhouse kick.
Yes.
She may be one of the most well-rounded people I've ever met.
Do you think?
Well-rounded is not the word. Like, just good at too many things.
You think she's hiding something?
Oh, yeah.
She's too good at too many things.
I mean, I met her husband too. They both seem great.
They seem great.
I don't know. I left with a lower self-esteem. Is that what her show's supposed to do? No, I was actually very inspired. Not to get into Taekwondo, but to think it's cool. I was inspired to think it's really cool.
I literally, and I don't want to reveal exactly what notes I took, but I literally, before I went to bed, journaled about my experience, about something I learned from.
Well, why can't you tell me?
Just because it's personal. And I don't really want to get it. I mean, it's uninteresting. It's not worth talking about. But I'm just saying,
I don't want to hear anything uninteresting.
I was impacted.
So you were impacted in a completely uninteresting way.
But no, it's just not anything revolutionary.
Taekwondo is an art form.
Yep.
Let's just say that.
What I will say, besides the screening, which was great, and I love when our peers why are you looking at me like that for?
I don't know. It's because my face.
Here's the thing, you're getting older and you might need to review some footage of yourself. You gotta be careful you don't make old man faces too often. Like that is such
I know that I was making an old man face.
It was such an old man face. But it wasn't just an old man face. It was like an old man
Let me see.
In the early stages of dementia.
Mirror it to me.
I can't even, my face is incapable of the faces that you make.
I'm sorry.
I can't make many old men faces.
I was raising my eyebrows.
You just can't look at people like that. Unless you want them to take sympathy on you and feel like they need to give you something.
But I need you to, well, I guess I can look. I mean, this is what
I don't know even how to respond to it. It's just like, does he need help?
This?
Yeah, I was like, what is, it looks like a baby pushing out a fart or an old man pushing out a fart.
I wasn't pushing at all.
Okay.
Damn. So, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry to be. I really don't know. I just think that I haven't used my face enough today, so I'm gonna raise the eyebrows.
Haven't used my face. Okay, well we'll give you that opportunity now.
I was trying to start using my face. So I was stretching it.
What I was gonna say.
Open the eyes.
What I was gonna say is, I don't know. I'm really encouraged by what's happening in our greater YouTube community. You've got Michelle, she's been making like TV quality stuff for a long time, and you know, we've been at some of these events with her where we're all trying to talk to industry people,
yeah,
and you know, ad agency people, and about the fact that television quality stuff is being made by these digital studios like Mythical and like Challenge Accepted. And then I wake up this morning and I'm just kind of late to the news on this. My wife actually told me about it. She was like, "Did you see what Markiplier did?" And I know that he's been working on a feature that's based on that video game. But he's also been working on, his Edge of Sleep Q Code audio podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's been making that into a TV show.
Oh, really?
And I don't know the details. I just know that it's on Amazon Prime, and it actually came out before the day that they said it was going to come out. And he was trying to explain to them that, like, listen, if you put this on the platform, my fans will find it, and I'll have to talk about it. Versus waiting until people in executives just don't know how the internet works.
Yeah,
and so. As of this morning, him talking about it had gotten it into the top 10 shows on Amazon.
Wow.
I haven't watched it. I watched the trailer on his channel, and it looks awesome. But anyway, I'm just excited about
good for all of us.
What the community is doing. People independently just making great stuff, and it's encouraging.
Yep. You don't have to be a black belt. Thank God.
You don't.
I ain't gonna be breaking no boards with my hand.
Before we listen to our first voicemail, just want to remind you that we did Good Mythical Evening, and if you missed it, you can still watch it, video on demand, goodmythicalevening.com.
The clock is ticking, though.
Yeah, it's not going to be around for much longer.
Yep.
I wish I knew the exact date in which it wasn't going to be around, but that's the mystery.
Don't risk missing it. Goodmythicalevening.com is where you can get a video on demand, all right?
Yeah. Hey, Ear Biscuit listener, Etsy knows what kind of holiday gifting reactions you're looking for this year.
You want squeals of delight, happy tears, and spontaneously written songs of joy, right? Mm-hmm. Well, to get reactions like those, you need to make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, hand-picked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy.
That's been my experience with Etsy, is that anytime I was looking for something that was thoughtful to someone's specific tastes or personality, and even sometimes my own tastes, I've gotten some stuff that's just like stuff you can't get anywhere else other than Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy makes it so simple to find original items that will make whoever you're shopping for feel extra special.
When they open that box, it'll be love at first gift, the kind of love you can only get when a gift is truly thoughtful and perfect for that person.
Shop Etsy this holiday season for personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all your favorite people and their specific kind of special.
For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it. We don't have much of a fall to speak of here in Southern California, but I have noticed waking up, walking outside, it's a little bit cooler.
Oh, yes, I might need another layer.
Right, you can't just
Is
go
it
out
sweater
there
weather here too?
in your t-shirt and your flip-flops and your shorts. Southern California feels a little bit cold right now.
And you want to get layered up. Quince can help you. Quince offers affordable, high-quality essentials for any wardrobe. That includes seasonal must-haves like Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $60 and comfortable pants for any occasion.
Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices along with premium fabrics and finishes.
And they partner with them directly, cutting out the cost of the middleman and passing the savings on to you.
That means Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands, so you can update your look without breaking the bank.
Yeah, I totally noticed this when I was shopping on their website and ordering my corduroy chore jacket in espresso.
Yeah, the prices are like, you're like, whoa, how are they doing this?
Yeah. And my super comfy linen pants? Absolutely.
Upgrade your wardrobe with pieces made to last with Quince. Go to quince.com/ear for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/ear to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ear. Hit us with the voicemail.
Hi, my name is Jane. I'm from Texas. I was just calling because I'm kind of having trouble with my father-in-law. He's a wonderful man. I really love him. But every time that I am trying to say something, he, like, cuts me off mid-sentence and, like, tries to, like, guess where my sentence was going, and, like, says it over me and doesn't let me finish my thought. And it feels like he's just not, like, listening to me. It feels like he's just, like, trying to come up with the end of my sentences. And it's really aggravating because it makes me lose my train of thought, and I feel like, you know, he doesn't really care about what I have to say. So I just don't really know how to talk to him about it, you know. I just want him to let me say what I'm going to say and not try to guess it.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping y'all could help me out. Thank you. Love y'all. Bye.
Love you too, Jane. Let me just say that.
Oh, this is great.
I would never interrupt you. I listen to you talk all day. Now, let's get inside the mind of an interrupter.
Oh, and you're gesturing to me.
Help us understand.
I do not do this.
You don't do this.
I don't do this. I do not try to finish people's sentences while they're finishing them themselves.
I have run into this before, though.
I mean, but I am prone to be a little sympathetic. Like, okay, the believing, I wouldn't say the worst, but believing something that's not the best might include he doesn't care what I have to say. I just want to go ahead and say, well, what about the flip side? It seems that he could be caring so much about what you have to say, and he's vibing with it so much that he just can't help himself but try to get in complete verbal sync. So you can interpret it that way. He is very much into what I have to say to the point where he thinks he can finish my sentences.
Okay.
She loves him. He seems like he's probably a good guy, except for this one thing.
So there's another phenomenon that I have observed with other people throughout my life. And it isn't exactly the same thing, but I think it speaks to what you're talking about. And that is what I think is probably a little bit more common. And that's when you're trying to tell someone a story. You're trying to give someone some personal information about something that happened to you.
Okay.
And before you can finish your story, they are telling a story that's similar, that your story made them think of. Now, I will say this is a very ADHD thing to do. I have a lot of ADHD people in my life, and they don't necessarily know this is what they're doing. It's just like, they're like dogs that see a car passing by and they have to chase it, right? And so when you tell them a story, they're immediately like, well, yeah, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. And you haven't really finished your story yet, and I don't think
it sparks something in their brain, and then they just go with it.
And then they maybe have not developed a discipline to know that, like, oh, this seems selfish when I do this. This seems like I'm not interested in what you're saying. But it's actually a bit of an attempt to relate to someone. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, yeah, let me tell you about the time I fell into a sewer. You know?
They don't have to do that with their head and
but sometimes they do. So the charitable response to this that you're getting at is that this is like, oh yeah, I know what you're about to say. You're about to tell me about the time you fell into a sewer.
Yeah, I'm tracking with you. I'm tracking with you, girl.
Now, it does not matter. It matters a little bit, but it doesn't really matter what someone's intentions are. Let me just say that.
Of course it matters.
It matters somewhat, but the impact of the dynamic of a conversation is that
yes, well, she's lost
whether or not
the
person is being selfish and trying to take the conversation over, or the person is unintentionally taking the conversation over. The impact to the person on the other end of the conversation is exactly the same. If you run over somebody and kill them because you were drunk, well, that's a problem. If you run over and kill somebody because they ran out in front of you, well, they still died.
This got extreme.
I'm just saying that, I mean, the impact is still the same. So I do think it's something that needs to be, ultimately I'm saying it needs to be addressed, because you can have the charitable response, which I think she's already having. Jane's like, he's a nice man. I don't think he's being malicious or whatever.
Yeah.
But that, you either have to be
but
like,
it's not,
well, I'm going to deal with it.
I agree that she needs to curtail it because it's having an impact on her ability to finish thoughts, much less sentences. And that ain't good. That ain't good. I'll throw a couple of things out there.
Okay.
The moment that he starts, she could just zoop, totally stop. And then just let him go with it. What would happen then? Be like, nope, that wasn't it, you know? Which brings me to my suggestion, which is, I think humor is the answer. I'm not gonna do the thing that we've done before, which is, well, you just, you need, communication is key and you need to have a conversation. Maybe just the two of you. No, humor is the key to unlocking this. To take some of the power back in a way that doesn't hurt anybody. You just need to.
Can you demonstrate this?
I think that there's a funny way to, say something.
Well, no, I want you to start saying something. You be Jane, I'll be the
her.
father-in-law.
Okay. All right. So I have an idea for how I think that this could be solved, and I'm going to use humor to do it. And, well, you're not even cutting me off. You're not doing anything.
I'm just waiting for you. I'm going to let you get somewhere. Oh, you were literally giving your idea. Just tell a story about something.
Oh, well, yesterday I was driving
Fell into a sewer?
No. That's not right. I was driving through Texas, father-in-law, and I came upon...
A sewer and you fell into it.
No, I came upon... Well, okay. All right, so that is 2 negative points for you. You have not guessed what I was doing yet. Do you want to keep playing this game? Because you like to play the game.
Ooh.
I'm willing to play the game if you want to.
You sure it wasn't a sewer?
No, it wasn't a sewer, so you're at negative 2 points.
Okay. It was a hole of some kind.
It was a tumbleweed.
But you fell into
but
the tumbleweed.
It was the biggest tumbleweed I've ever seen.
You fell into it,
Lord knows I've seen a lot of tumbleweeds.
Did you fall into it and you fell into it?
If you want to play the game, you need to wait until I start talking, and then you need to start trying to predict what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Which you like to play this game a lot, so now I'm just putting...
Fall into a tumbleweed.
I'm just putting points on it, okay? And then everybody else is kind of laughing uncomfortably.
Okay, so you make it a game.
Maybe, but you're kind of making fun of the fact that he does it in a way that it's not completely confrontational. And it's gentle ribbing.
What I was hearing, and it may be, I like this idea, but I think it might be more difficult if the thing... I didn't pick up on the fact that she was talking about, like, recounting something that happened to her. I kind of thought that she was saying that she is giving her opinion about something and he's finishing her opinion, which, let me just say, when a man finishes a woman's opinion, just first of all, we are in a bad place.
Let's not do that.
All right, and men have traditionally love to do that.
I think it applies to opinions or whatever. I'm just saying, if there's a way to start gently making fun of him for doing it and just pointing it out every time, it's like, if you give it a name like, oh, you're doing the predict what I say game again. All right, you got to do better because that wasn't it.
Maybe a slightly more caustic, if it is about opinions, it could be like, oh no, go ahead, tell me what I think. You
don't want to get too passive aggressive.
No, but I think I think.
Dale, you always like to try to finish my sentences, Dale, and I'm gonna put a point value to it. Let's call it the Dale finishes sentences game. We're just, Dale complete.
That's the nice version.
And then every single time he does it, you say, oh, we're playing the game again? All right, -1 point. You didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it that time. You don't want to give him too many positive points though, because you want to, you want to degrade. You don't want to encourage.
Yeah.
So you want it to be punitive a little bit.
I do agree. A
little bit making fun.
My idea is more caustic, but I do believe it would work really well if she just were like, "Oh, go ahead and Dale, tell me what I think." He would never do it again. Mm-hmm. Jenna, you seem to agree.
I liked that one. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket.
but you can't start with the aggressive version. You got to start with everybody's laughing.
If Jane said,
even Dale's like, I do that. I didn't even know I did that.
If Jane says it in the voice that she just left that voicemail in,
you should get away with it.
I think it'll be pretty damn disarming. That's all I gotta say.
I think that's it. I think we helped you out. Just give him a hard time about it. Come on. Take the power back.
Good luck, Jane.
Well, Dale, if you keep trying to finish my sentences, then I forget what I'm going to say, and then what you say is usually not what I was going to say. So...
What if his name is Dale?
Come on, Dale. Dale, that isn't what I was going to say, and now I can't remember.
All right, listen.
And you get negative points.
Let's hear the next one.
Hey, Rhett and Link. You guys answer a lot of wedding-related questions, and you've been on a kick of ethically dubious situations lately. So here's mine. Some people who ruined my wedding are going to be getting married soon. So I want to ask the bad boys, what is the most creative way for me to return the favor?
What? Oh, the bad boys?
Yeah, we're the bad boys.
What you gonna do?
We're the bad boys now.
What you gonna do when we give you advice for you?
The bad boys gonna ruin the wedding.
Hold on, have we got a reputation?
Yes.
We got a reputation for being bad boys?
We're the bad boys. All right. Well, I want to know what they did to ruin your wedding. Call back. Come on. More information, the better.
I would love more information, but I don't believe I need it.
How could you ruin a wedding? Because to me, that informs how you retaliate. The type of revenge, it needs to be a little tit for tat or a little tit for tit even, I mean, if Dale were here, he'd be finishing that. Tit for tit. That's right, Dale. I mean, because how do you they didn't ruin the wedding badly enough that she's not going to show up at their wedding. So it didn't end the relationship. So it wasn't like this, he got drunk at the reception and started spewing secrets about our past.
We don't know the nature of the ruining of the wedding, but it was categorized as a ruining of the wedding.
I mean, what would you think could ruin a wedding? Like, not the reception. The actual wedding is ruined? Or maybe the whole thing? I don't know.
Standing up during that speak now, forever hold your peace. That'll do it.
Okay. That's a little too TV.
They actually don't even say that. They haven't said that at any weddings that I've been to in 10 years.
Is it
maybe
ever? Is it just a movie thing?
I think it's like the reading of a will in the movie, which never happens in real life. It's like sitting down, and I bequeath to so-and-so. Like that happens in the movies, but you don't see that in real life.
Yeah, don't they just email it out?
Right, emails, man.
Everybody gets upset in their own space.
Well,
but I mean, my dad always tells the story of Uncle Johnny throwing flour on his head when he and my mom exited the.
That didn't ruin it though.
It almost killed him.
Almost choked on it.
It kind of ruined a part of it. When you almost die from choking, and then you've got to get in your car covered in flour.
Well, I think you're on the right track though. It was something that was
prankish.
Oh, it could have been accidental, but it could have been somebody showing their ass, but it wasn't something that was a relationship ruiner because they are going to their wedding. So I think first of all, I always think the perfect revenge plan involves getting your revenge, but not having to take responsibility for it.
That's right.
And maybe even eliciting some sympathy for yourself. So I have one option, okay?
All right.
So what you're gonna do is, and I actually was thinking reception, but I do believe you could orchestrate this for the ceremony as well. It depends on maybe if you're in the wedding. If you do it at the reception, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the reception and you are going to indulge like you've never indulged before.
Yeah.
Go to the buffet, revisit the buffet.
Oh, you're talking about food? Okay.
Drinks, everything.
Oh, okay.
But you need food for my plan.
Oh. I'm getting scared.
then you're gonna have your. This is horrible, by the way. Let me just say, this is horrible.
Well, it's got to be ruined. Gotta go big.
You gonna ruin their wedding. All right. But they're gonna have trouble getting mad at you unless they listen to this podcast, which is a little bit of a meta conversation we might need to have if we're gonna keep giving this kind of advice. But back to the point. You're gonna indulge like you've never indulged before, and then what is it called? Ipecac.
Syrup of Ipecac?
Yeah. So I don't know what the time on this is, but this is what makes you throw up. And what you're gonna do is you got a little flask with Ipecac in it. You got an Ipecac flask, and you're gonna take that. And
That's a good word for such a bad thing.
When you feel
Ipecac.
Maybe we could sell an Epiflask, which is just a flask with Ipecac in it. You feel the urge. This is your moment. You're going to have to time this because you need to be congratulating both of them at the same time.
This is worse than flour.
And you are going to vomit like you've never vomited before, and it is going to get on at least her dress.
Oh, Rhett.
I'm just saying. And then you are going to immediately begin apologizing profusely. I'm so sorry. As you continue to I'm so sorry. I'm so, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening.
Because that's why you're not turning away, because you're apologizing.
Yeah, no. You turn away and get some other people, but then you come back and hit them. Fire hydrant.
I'm so sorry to everybody.
And,
wow. Because then everybody,
the DJ will stop playing music.
other people start vomiting.
People start throwing up.
Oh, that's ruining.
You may get one of them to throw up.
Can we move this to the ceremony?
I'd love to hear you do it.
I mean, you go up there. It's like you start walking up there in the middle of the ceremony. It's like, excuse me, I've got to fix the train of your. First, you're fixing the train of the dress, and they're like,
get up during the ceremony.
Okay, I guess this person just thinks they need to fix the train of her dress during the ceremony, and then you start vomiting on it.
Well, they're gonna know you planned that. Maybe you need a volunteer to sing at the wedding.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
How great thou!
Wow.
Okay.
That would ruin it. Yeah, a little vomit is contagious.
Yeah. So I mean, I told you. I apologize for this. You didn't hear from me.
Yeah, and you're totally. People feel sorry for you.
And then they think that maybe they did something with the food.
Ooh, yeah, it's their fault.
Their fault.
Yes. All right.
I had some of the shrimp. Oh.
All right. To work up to that, which is the ultimate. Okay. That's the ultimate.
Okay.
If you're not ready for that and you still want to ruin the wedding, I don't know, maybe you can bring a dog to the ceremony.
Okay.
And
say less.
Walk them down the aisle. Maybe if your dog
Some people have dogs, they do the ring bearer thing.
The
ring barker.
Yeah, but this is like, you bring your own ring bearer and you just like, you send them down there. Maybe they like to mark things a lot. They're like marking everybody who's on the end of the aisle to get their shoe peed on.
This could backfire though, because everybody loves a dog. A lot of people do.
But if it's a real horrible dog.
How about like a raccoon?
A raccoon. Bring a raccoon and swear it's your dog.
If you
the ring bearer.
There
it is.
You know what is actually a really good animal to let loose inside of a space that's actually not harmless but really scary? It's a possum.
Ooh. Because at a certain point they'll play dead. And
you put a possum in a church during a wedding, that'll ruin a wedding. Because they don't actually do that much, but they go, and they won't bite. They don't bite you. You can put your hand in I think I've talked about this many times. You can put your hand in a possum's mouth and it won't bite. But it will ruin a wedding.
It'll ruin a wedding.
People will trample each other
brought
potentially.
A possum to the wedding. Don't invite him next time. You're definitely not getting invited to anything else.
But again, you could plant the possum in a special location.
A remote control cage that releases.
Like inside the organ or something, or in the piano. I don't want to hurt the possum. I'm not advocating violence to animals. Where could you put a possum before a wedding such that it would be revealed during the wedding? What kinds of things are opened up during a wedding?
Well, the rings are usually in a pocket. I don't know. I don't think anything's opened up during a wedding.
So maybe you've got to have the possum in something that you remotely open at a certain point.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a cage under a pew.
Yep. Yeah.
Under the front pew.
That's it. And you might need a couple of possums because you can't trust one possum.
Yeah.
It's tough to trust one possum.
You're going to need 3 possums for this operation.
And you might get one to do something cool, or you might get all 3, and it really just depends on the day and the weather.
I'm going to suggest one more to work up to this, because to work up to the vomit, you got to get the possums. To work up to the possums, I think what you want to do is you want to have a silent power trip over the people that ruined your wedding now at their wedding. So let's just say, lame example, they ruined your wedding with air horns. Like, why did you bring an air horn to my wedding, they're in the background. You know, that would really put a hitch in a ceremony.
Oh, during a ceremony.
During
for
the
sure.
ceremony.
Yeah.
If you're like hitting the air horn.
Great for the reception, though.
Still, it's really loud. I think you need to have an air horn. You need to have, but air horn represents whatever they did to you that now.
You should always have an air horn.
First of all, you should always.
I got one on me
have
right
an
now.
Air horn. I mean, any avid boater knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And
you never know when somebody's not paying attention while boating.
Exactly.
And they'll just run right on you.
I think that you're basically making eye contact. Let's just say it's the bride that ruined your wedding. You're making eye contact with the bride at certain points just holding up that air horn. Your fingers right on it. Hey, are you gonna? Not right now. Not right now.
Every time they look at you.
Hold up the air horn.
How do you get them to look at you, though?
Am I gonna?
Usually they're really enthralled with each other. You might need a little signal or something.
I think you might need to like eke the air horn a little bit. Or wave it. Wave the air horn.
How about just
get their line of
aggressive
sight.
throat clearing? That'll get somebody to look. People actually can't help it. Yeah. Okay. This is not a bad idea.
Mind games.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to ruin their wedding. You're going to let them know that you could ruin their wedding.
Yeah. And this way, you don't suffer.
You don't suffer. Nobody else suffers, but they suffer on their big day.
You could give the pastor epicac.
Yeah, you could.
Which I really also don't really recommend because I think that could be illegal.
Yeah,
it's kind of like poisoning somebody.
But
if a pastor has to bow out, you can't officially get married.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? If the officiant has a physical problem.
Okay. Or you could just give him an air horn. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
You want to give him an air horn? Pastor?
How about replace the ring with an air horn?
Yep, so when he pulls it out, it's like, oh no.
It's like, damn it.
Yeah, I think you need to have air horns everywhere. And the bride and the groom, they just start to go nuts over like, am I seeing things? It's like everywhere I look, there's air horns.
But they're not going off.
They're not going off.
You see them.
But they could go off.
Now,
that's going to drive you
one
nuts.
flaw in this is some people cannot recognize an air horn. They might think it's a cheese whiz.
That's true. Classic mistake.
So I think you might need a big, legible label on it.
Yeah.
Air horn.
Above it.
Yeah.
Maybe you wear a hat that says, I'm holding an air horn.
Yeah, that's it.
A trucker hat. I'm holding an air horn.
This is not cheese whiz.
Not cheese whiz.
Okay. Well, we solved that one.
But then I think you go up to him at the reception. Maybe you do have some cheese whiz. You just
the whole time it was cheese whiz.
You lace them with cheese whiz.
Whoa, you cheese whiz them?
Cheese whiz them.
You cheese whiz them during the reception?
Cheese whiz them.
Oh.
I mean, it's a stepping stone to vomit. It'll get you more comfortable vomiting on a bride.
If you vomit on somebody during a ceremony or during a reception, you will be embarrassed, but your reputation will not be tarnished.
That's
true.
But
you cheese whiz somebody, you probably won't get a job after that.
But you might have a little fan group on Facebook. You know, there's some people who are like, wow, I'm really with Cheese Whiz, dude.
The Cheese Whizzlers.
Cheese Whizzlers?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that on Facebook? So that's it. We've got varying levels of ruining weddings.
We give you options. And keep in mind that the possum option is 3 options in one.
Yep.
So you've technically got 5 different ways you could play this. So take one of those, please, and report back.
I watched a video of a coyote at a construction site. He was being filmed by like a guy in a big piece of equipment. They were like clearing some land. And then he runs up on a possum just in the middle of this thing, and he grabs the possum and he picks it up in his jaws, and then of course it plays dead.
Yeah.
So then he drops it. And he just kind of looks at it. And then he looks up and he makes eye contact with the guy filming him in the piece of equipment. The coyote does. And then he takes a couple of steps forward and he pees on the possum. And he walks off.
Oh my God.
He walks off. And then after a while, the possum gets up and walks away.
With piss on him. And coyote piss is horrible. I've smelled that
That's
stuff.
bad. That's bad.
I saw a coyote video recently. and I didn't know how to feel about it because I've got I don't know how I feel about coyotes. Let me just tell you that first, because
they're around.
Boy, they are.
They'll run. You'll be driving around Los Angeles in the evening, late at night.
Well, not just seeing them.
You'll be driving behind a coyote. It's like, well, do you have a carpool lane sticker? You get out of the way.
I would say 2 to 3 nights a week, if we're outside
walking,
just in my yard, the coyotes start going crazy. And what I've been told, and I'm not no expert, and the person that told me this wasn't, but maybe they saw an expert.
Yeah.
Is that when they start going nuts, it's usually, and it doesn't sound like dogs, it's a distinct sound. They have gotten something, most likely a pet, right?
Oh.
They've captured something, and they are all like
frenzy,
going crazy, and they are close. They get close. I mean, first of all, they get in my front yard, and I got my dogs out there. I don't want my dogs to get eaten by a coyote. We had coyotes behind our house in that little fenced-in area between the two houses.
Really? Like it's a pathway?
2 years ago, when the people next to us were redoing their house and they didn't live there for like a year, the coyotes figured it out and they were hanging out in their yard, and then they were coming up behind, and they could easily have jumped. We let Sean and Barbara out to, do their business, and we don't always go out there with them.
Yeah, that's
I just don't know how I feel about coyotes. Like, I do not put them on the level of dogs. And so I saw a video where there was a coyote that was in distress, and this woman like takes it in and revitalizes it and stuff. And listen, I understand that from like just a general universal ethic standpoint, that this is a living being and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't like that coyote. I don't want more of those coyotes out there. I want less of them out there. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know how to reconcile my feelings.
What about a fox, though?
Foxes are not a problem for me personally.
Foxes do not eat.
And foxes kill chickens.
Have hens.
They kill chickens. Yeah. They don't kill dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe little teeny dogs.
I've seen footage of people with like foxes as pets.
Yeah, well, they got a new dog-fox hybrid. Did you see that?
What?
Mm-hmm. First time.
Yeah, first time it's ever happened, at least, that we know of.
What do they call it, a fog?
A fog or a dox. Dox is not good, though, because then you find out where he lives.
It's called a dogsm.
Dogsm?
Dogxim.
Why?
I don't know.
Because a fog and a dox are both bad. But I told you about these foxes in, I think it's Russia.
But I thought a fox was more like a cat. Am I stupid? Don't answer that.
Those are unrelated questions. We can address each one.
A fox is genetically closer related to a dog, apparently.
They have similar behaviors to on both sides to cats and dogs.
They branched off of dogs a long time ago.
They branched out of dogs.
Coyotes branched off of dogs not very recently, is what my understanding was.
Does that make you feel better about hating them?
Yeah. But the foxes, foxes can be domesticated and then bred to be very friendly. And if you look up, just Google like Russian domesticated foxes, and they got these foxes that make dog noises, have floppy ears, and love people so much that they pee themselves when people come up to them. And there was this whole like
Jay does that sometimes.
movement to domesticate these foxes as pets at some point. And now there's like the remnants of that movement somewhere. I think it's Russia. I don't know. This could be a lot of misinformation, but you can Google to verify.
It's of little consequence.
Right, it's just we're talking about domesticated foxes. But yeah, so I don't know how.
It's not like we're ruining a wedding.
I don't know how they hybridized a dog and a fox together, because you have to have some sort of genetic similarities in order to do that, right? Like you can't just, like there's gotta be some common ancestor that's not too far back.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make us in a chimpanzee, half human, half chimpanzee. They could easily do that.
You think they could?
If scientists turned their laser focus on making a human chimpanzee hybrid, there is zero doubt that they would be able to do it. I'm not saying that they should.
I mean, I've fallen off of the Planet of the Apes movies after Charlton Heston, but is that
That was a while back.
the premise of that?
I have no idea. I haven't watched any of the recent ones.
I
I'm
think
just
it's
saying that, like,
I think it's just parallel evolution.
you can something that diverged 6 million years ago. You can hybridize that. Yeah.
So you basically you want to keep the brains of a human, but you want to get the brawn of a
I don't know.
chimpanzee.
I'm not saying advocating for this. I'm just saying that from it would be possible. It would be possible.
Okay. We need to move to higher ground here.
Okay, all right.
This is getting scary.
Next question.
Hi, Rhett and Link. My name is Jewel, and I live in North Carolina, so I'm also a North Carolina native. I've really been loving the Canada and the Chicago segment where you give your honest opinions about what you think. So I want to hear what you think about North Carolina being a North Carolina native. All right, thanks, guys.
That's right. We're North Carolina boys, always and forever. We know lots about it. I mean,
There's a lot about North Carolina that might surprise you. And some of the things that we're very familiar with are the things that we do right from birth, right? So you know your typical thing that you would do with a baby is that, like, it comes out of the womb and then you give it the teat. Well, that's not how it works in North Carolina.
right.
We give the babies a cigarette.
Right. Just get them, just a little tobacco.
Every North Carolina baby lives off smoke alone for the first 18 months of life.
Right. And of course, this goes back to, we know that smoking is bad for you, but I mean, it's so much industry in our state was built on it.
It's an economic decision.
It's an economic decision.
Sometimes we sacrifice our health for economics.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens is, you know, typical baby birthday parties, like 1-year-old birthday parties, you set a cake in front of the child and then they just throw their face into it.
We don't do that.
We set a pig, a hog.
Right. It's cooked.
But it's cooked and it's small. I hate to say this, but it is a baby pig. It's a suckling pig.
Yep. Right there.
Every child gets a suckling pig
So what is
to themselves on the first birthday.
what is Betty gonna do to the suckling pig?
Yeah, and then we
You
make
have
a
to
lot
see.
of judgments about the future of the child based on what part of the pig it eats first.
Right.
Keep in mind, it does have to take its cigarette out in order to eat the pig.
Well, they don't smoke cigarettes forever. It's just a
First 18 months.
Yes,
though.
it's just
They're
the first-
still well into it.
Okay,
at
but
his
yeah.
first birthday.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We also know that North Carolina is better than South Carolina in every way.
We do not speak to people from South Carolina
don't do
if
that.
we can help it.
Yeah. I mean,
And when we do, we judge them.
harshly.
Yeah.
And when you're from North Carolina, you know about all the places in it. But when you're not, you just know about Asheville and Wilmington.
Right.
That's all we let outsiders know about.
Yeah.
And is it cool? Is it cool there in the mountains? Yeah, it's pretty cool in Asheville. Yes. Okay.
You're right.
We'll give you that. Everybody knows that. It's pretty cool in Asheville. There's a whole middle part. Okay, I don't have much to say about it. That's where I
Well, how about a short sidebar away from our funny talk? Since you brought up Asheville, I feel obligated to shout out the people of Asheville who went through hell and are still in
That's exactly
recovery from that. It's going to be a long time coming.
Giving our love to Asheville
And
because it is.
the United Way of North Carolina. We supported them and the work that they're doing out there. Encourage you to do the same. You brought it up.
Hey, yeah, sending our love and support to United Way of North Carolina.
We don't have cars. We have NASCARs. And you think you go, you would come to North Carolina and you'd see roads with stoplights? No.
Everything's banked.
Everything is a banked oval. We only take left turns. If you can't get to a location by taking a series of left turns, then you cannot get there.
Right.
If it requires a right turn in North Carolina, you got to take 3 lefts in order to get there.
But it's fast.
Oh, it's real
It's so
fast.
fast.
There are no speed limits. The faster, the better, as a matter of fact.
If you haven't experienced it, you've probably seen like clover leaves getting on and off like a freeway in whatever state you've experienced. everything's like that. Everything's like getting on and off a freeway, but it's just how the roads work.
Every town.
And nobody gets dizzy because we're all used to it.
Yeah.
Vestibularly, most fighter pilots come from North Carolina because of the banked roadways.
And when you pull into a gas station, 12 men in full body suits come up and change your tires, fill your car up with gas real fast.
Everything.
I mean, it is absolutely nuts. And then you're back on the road in about 15 seconds.
Right, you have a fob on your visor, and that's how you pay.
Right.
It's kind of like a toll booth.
And also, this is really important from a religious perspective, is that 9 out of 10 North Carolinians, when they select religion on the census, they select college basketball.
Right. And everywhere you look, there are churches.
But they're just showing ACC games inside there.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
From the 80s and 90s, by the way.
Yeah, reruns.
When the ACC meant something.
That's right.
Yep.
Love it. It's a great place. We love growing up there. We learned so much.
And also, we're first in flight, not you, Ohio. Just because you produce the Wright brothers,
yeah, but
you're still wrong. Where did they go?
Us.
Where did the flight happen?
Kitty Hawk.
Yeah.
Us.
North
Carolina Beach.
Yeah.
Right there.
Ohio wasn't good enough to fly in.
Mm-mm.
So they had to leave and find a worthy state. Okay?
And they never went back.
But I believe they did, but it's okay.
They might have visited.
So that's North Carolina. Send us your questions about any other place on earth.
Let's hear another.
Hey, Rhett Link, this voicemail is for Jenna. I want to say you're a genius because I just listened to the episode about you having a proclivity to start fires. And a couple episodes or so before that, you were talking about how you would be very interested in a firefighter partner. And I just think that's a great combination. I think that's a great way to get a partner. And I just think you're next level. So well done.
Yes.
Oh, I thought this dude was going to say he was a firefighter.
Oh, no, but I love being called a genius. Thank you.
Genius.
Wow.
I mean, that's better than arsonist.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Both could be true. Genius
So,
arsonist.
how did this happen? Because we've started to have an idea of your type or types. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, Jenna likes you'd like a fireman.
Yes, I would. I've never dated a fireman.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
So describe what we're picking up on, but that you know fully. I mean, this is you. This is your preference. What's your type? And why is fireman it?
Fireman, I suppose, would be it, just because it's a very physical, demanding job.
Okay. You want a bulky guy. You want a muscle guy.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily need to be like
Capable.
Someone who's capable. They can. I'd still like a man that's a little squishy.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Squishy, a little squishy, but a lot capable.
Yeah, a lot capable.
All right.
A little squishy.
They protect. They help the community in different ways. I like the uniform.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You like uniforms.
Yes. Marines were always my type, but I'm avoiding them for the time being because it has never worked out for me.
Okay, taking a break from Marines.
Yeah, taking a break.
What about Air Force, Army? Space Force?
I've never dated any of the other branches, actually.
Oh, really?
Just Marines.
Okay.
They really like me, and I like them. They're fun.
Okay.
They're a little crazy. I think that's why I need someone
crazy.
who's going to run into a burning building, just a little unhinged. You know.
But you haven't dated a fireman.
I haven't.
I also get
I
also get the impression because you're good in an emergency, like you're good if things start going sideways.
I am. Yeah.
Cool-headed.
And I think you would be, if you were in a relationship with a man that wasn't good in emergencies, you would lose respect for him.
Yeah.
Would you not? Like a guy who like freezes
I need
up.
I need
How about
someone,
working for a
'cause
guy who's
I'm-
not good in emergencies?
That's different.
That's different. That's
Okay,
different.
good.
I'm getting
Hold on,
paid to use my skills.
You helped a lady with a
Yeah, you
Target
did.
bag, with a Trader Joe's bag.
That's right.
You've proven yourself recently.
Yeah, you did good in that emergency.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm rubbing off on you. My energy. Yeah. I think it's also just someone because I am so hyper independent and can do all the things. Finding a partner that can take some of that from me and allow me to be a little softer.
Okay, I got it.
Would be nice.
And you have a pole in your house.
Not anymore, but I did have a pole in my house. That's how we got on the topic. Because the pole.
Yes.
I had a pole in my apartment for a long time in college because a friend of mine was a stripper. Anywho,
Okay.
not to get us back on that topic.
It didn't go up to the next floor.
It didn't go up to the next floor. It was strictly a
affixed to
stripper
the wall.
pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
you're going to be on. Aren't you going to be on a Good Mythical Weekend at some point?
Are they gonna bring in firefighters?
They heard the runner about of us talking about firefighters and stuff, and we're like, let's find Jenna a firefighter.
Hell yeah!
And
let me tell you right now, you probably already know this, but in big cities, my understanding in big cities like LA, like, you know, where we come from, firefighters are volunteer firefighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
In
they
the country,
they
yeah.
get paid something, but they all have other jobs. But like in a city like this, like it's like a full-time, good-paying job with benefits, and like they've got a predictable schedule. They know when they're on and they know when they're off and that kind of thing.
They're on a lot, but then when they get off, they have like long weekends.
Yeah.
There's a lot of catch-up time.
Yeah.
And then you get your independent time because they're like working for like
I do.
double shifts.
Yeah, they're doing double shifts, and then that's my time. I think that's.
And you like to have some alone time.
I do love alone time.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This could be perfect. We got to
think
find some damn
so.
firefighters.
Yeah, but we'll see how the Good Mythical Weekend episode. We're not doing that until later, so I think they're still looking for firefighters. They may expand to other emergency personnel.
If you are a firefighter or a suit wearing giving Marines, but not too much because she's not doing that right now.
In the Southern California area.
In the
please.
greater Los Angeles area.
I have a habit of finding men who don't live in the area.
Yeah,
so
right,
in the
okay.
area,
I'm not
is
even
preferred.
talking. We don't want Orange County. We want greater Los Angeles area.
Okay, Orange
Yes.
County, I mean, that could be an hour away, maybe. Or you get Irvine. I mean, if somebody works for the Irvine Fire Deparment, what if he's perfect?
Well, I don't
in every
want
way?
That'd be fun.
I
And
don't
if
wanna
they've
set
got
Jenna with somebody that then she decides to move to Orange County.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, maybe
Right,
she's
yeah,
halfway
yeah.
to it. You know, I mean, 30-minute commute, something like that.
I just think
I really
think we
like
need to
my
be close.
Okay,
super
if you
close
work for the
commute.
Burbank Fire Department, you
There
have
we go.
a serious leg up to
There we
everybody
go.
else.
Because I'm
even Glendale would be great.
gonna put a radius on this because I don't want to be the reason that Jenna doesn't work with us anymore.
That's true. Okay.
You know?
So this is about you all.
It's about us. It's about all of us.
It's about all of us working together. Yeah, I don't want a long commute. So no, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So
But
what?
and if he shows up in just the pants,
Oh boy.
Oh, and no shirt.
He
you know, the
certainly can.
suspenders and just the pants.
That's usually a stripper.
oh.
Right.
Yeah, you
Not
know.
always. Well, they have the
Or it could be a fireman
calendars.
who's changing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Well,
How does the fireman take off everything except the pants and leave the suspenders on? That is a suspicious way to get undressed.
yeah. Usually there's at least a t-shirt
Yeah.
or a tank. Yeah. He's got a tank top on.
And you're okay with the danger of like worrying about, now I care about this person and they're running into death-defying situations.
I
on a
have
weekly
already
basis.
I have already dated men in those situations, so it wouldn't be uncommon. Yeah.
You like that energy a little bit? A little bit of that is like, I'm acquainted with.
Well, I think it's also,
Death.
you know, if I'm it's the job that I am acquainted with death. Yeah, I am acquainted with death. But it's the job they chose. I'm not gonna
Yeah, and from a statistic standpoint, it's not like they're probably going to be fine. I mean, they are in a more dangerous job than what we do, but occasionally, I mean, we skydive every once in a while.
Right.
You know,
and we're not qualified to do half the things we do. They're fully qualified.
Honestly, the dangerous part of being a firefighter around here is when you have to fight the wildfires.
Right. Yeah.
But even then, it still rarely results in somebody getting killed.
This is going to be fun if they're parading in all of these firemen for you.
I don't know if it's going to be a parade. I don't know how many people would feel like applying to date me.
It'll be a lineup of 3.
It's not. It's not only like people who want to date me, but it's like people who want to come on the show and try and date me.
So if you don't know, we do Saturday episodes on the Good Mythical Morning channel. We call it Good Mythical Weekend. It's like cruise stuff and like Emily dated somebody, Michaela dated somebody. You're next on the list.
I'm next on the list. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is fun.
This is good. Brush up on your backdraft.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great movie.
So I'm sure that the Mythical team is contacting
Climb up on that hose.
Local fire departments, but if you know anybody in the local fire departments in Los Angeles, or you are those people, just know that be looking for that call, or call us and leave a voicemail.
Yeah. And can I clarify, when I said climb up on that hose, I was talking about the rolled up hose that's on top of the fire truck, where the
I knew what you.
The lovemaking scene happened with Backdraft, I think.
Yeah.
I've only been told about it. I haven't seen it.
I watched Backdraft and don't remember that.
They were making love on the fire truck.
You would have thought maybe I was
on
watching it with my dad and you fast forwarded it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You don't remember a lovemaking scene?
It's been a long time since I've seen Backdraft. But, I'll watch it again soon.
Patrick Swayze, right?
I think you may be getting confused with the porn version, Backshaft.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happened. You saw that.
Okay.
And and you've got them mixed up in your mind now. In fact, all of Backshaft took place on top of a fire truck.
On some big hoses.
Pretty much a 45-minute movie.
I mean, maybe you'll get to steer the back of a hook and ladder truck.
Oh my gosh, that'll be so fun. I've been in a fire truck once before. But that's a weird story.
But those are so long that
that's a weird story.
You steer the back.
That's another time. That's another discussion.
Oh, really?
Why
is it
that's
another
not the
time?
Davin story.
That's the Davin story.
Oh, it is the Davin story.
It is the Davin story.
When we
Mythicon? When we were at Mythicon, yeah.
He had an allergic reaction.
He had an allergic reaction, and we were all at a brewery, and it was a Sunday, and all of us had been drinking, and no one had vehicles anyway, even if we weren't drinking.
Right.
So, me and Bethany and I went to everyone in the brewery asking for like Benadryl, something. Nobody had anything. Not even like they didn't even have it in the first aid kit at this brewery. So
was his throat closing?
Just covered. He was getting really,
super
really
high
wet. Yeah, you were there.
So many, like really red, like super red.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
full on
hives.
allergic reaction.
From what?
No idea.
Well, technically there is this thing, and it's like I don't know if it's always true, but it's called Asian flush.
Okay.
That when they drink that's a thing.
He'd been experiencing it. Earlier in the weekend as well, which made me think it was some sort of like
in the Texas air.
Yeah, in the Texas air, like hay fever or something that his body wasn't used to. Anyway, he was having a full-blown allergic reaction.
Oh, God.
And I go into emergency mode as I do. And I was like, well, okay, there's a place close by that we can get some Benadryl. Everything was closed on a Sunday where we were. And so I just kept walking and saw a fire department. I was like, excellent. They're going to have Benadryl. And me, just being the person that I am, didn't consider how crazy it would look if I just walk right in to their kitchen. I literally walk into their kitchen and they're all sitting there and they're like, who is this chick? And I was like, oh, hi. Hello. My friend is having an allergic reaction. It's fine, but I just want to get some Benadryl from you all because everything's closed. And they were like, well, we have to like see him and blah, 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 and
Yeah.
explain the
They
whole
have
thing.
to attend to him.
And I was like, oh God, well, please, it's not an emergency. Like, it's like, well, we got to drive over there. It's like, please don't put on the sirens. Oh boy. And they were like, please hop in the truck. So I got to ride in the truck.
I forgot that you got into the truck.
You were riding in the truck, and
yeah,
they were
Bethany and I were riding in the truck.
That's awesome.
And
like,
we
yeah,
get
something
there.
tells me me and Rhett wouldn't have been riding.
Yeah. They're like, here we go. We got to take these ladies down to the restaurant that they were friends at.
Yeah.
And they drive us over, and I told
I ain't
them, I'm
never
like,
gotten a ride in a fire truck
No.
just by crashing a lunch.
They would have given us directions to the local CVS. Right.
and then I was like, please wait here. Y'all don't need to come all like barreling in to like administer first aid. So I went and grabbed David and brought him out to the parking lot, and they checked him, and sure enough,
What
he was
did
having
David
an
say
allergic
when
Even we
he
got
saw-
a surprise for you.
when he saw
It's
the fire truck.
firefighter.
Oh, he was very excited. Some of these firefighters were very attractive, so he was very happy.
Yeah, David likes firefighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to watch out for David on your dating day.
Yeah, he's
gotta keep
gonna
him-
try and steal these.
We got to
men
keep
from-
him back.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He might conveniently have to break out in the hives
I
again.
know.
Okay, you want to take one more? Quick one?
Sure.
Hey guys, this is Anthony, Tennessee. I am a truck driver, so I'm constantly listening to you guys and dispatches from Myrtle Beach and hot dog is a sandwich. I wanted to ask you guys, what is your outlook on truckers after moving from the south to California? I noticed there's a very big difference between how truck drivers are treated in the south and the north, and then out west, especially in California. So I want to see y'all's outlooks on what y'all thought about truck drivers and if you guys' opinions has changed since you guys moved. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for calling. I don't know. I didn't know that like people thought of truck drivers in different ways in different places.
You think he's watching or just listening? He's a truck driver. He probably can't see me. He's asking him to toot the horn.
We got our fist in the air and we're going up. We're going in an up and down motion. So as you're listening, give us a hoot. Give us a honk. Give us a honk. They are the lifeblood
I love truck drivers.
of America. Moving stuff around, moving and shaking, having to pulling over to weigh, talking on the CB, sleeping in the back, going to the biggest truck
I'm the bull
car
of
wash.
the woods.
I'm the beaver from Missouri. There's a Merle Haggard song called "The Bull of the Woods."
It's about a male trucker and a female trucker connecting romantically over a CB.
Yep.
It is a great song.
And having a meetup.
It gets a little dirty.
Yeah, for a little hanky panky. That's interesting.
I've actually always had, I actually experienced this just last week. I've never thought about this until this question was asked. I've never spoken about it. But I just realized now that you've asked the question and I'm reflecting on a recent experience that I've always had, and I don't know if it's like probably something my dad said at some point as a kid. I've always had this reverence and respect for truck drivers. Like
Okay.
it was some noble profession in that they know a whole lot more about driving in general than anyone else because they have to. They have to have a special
Oh, yeah.
license. They've got this giant thing that can kill people, and I am really, it's so easy when you're merging in this town to look for a truck to merge in front of you, because they keep a little bit of distance.
Yeah. But
And a lot of these
you don't wanna fill that
California
gap.
a-holes, like for some reason, let me just say, I don't do this. Like when somebody's trying to merge, I don't even care if they've like waited until the very end. I never play that game where I'm like, I'm not gonna let you in, I'm not gonna let you in, I'm not gonna let you in. I just don't understand it psychologically.
I'd like to thank you for that.
Okay?
Because I'm one of those people merging in.
I'm just like, yeah, come on. We're all trying to go places. Let's just let people, it's fine, okay? Sometimes it does get excessive, I know.
But you don't do that in front of a 18-wheeler.
But I always, and sometimes there's a gap and it is a good enough gap and I feel okay, but I'm always like, I'm very like I was like, thank you,
Giving him
sir.
the
Like
hand.
very, like I don't know. I just had this reverence, and
Of course, he can't see you do that if you do that in the cab of your car.
I saw last week a truck driver got cut off by someone, and he was upset, and I looked up. Well, I looked up this way because I was he was up there, and I just made eye contact for a moment, and there was this just like, I see you, man. I see you. You're a truck driver.
I'm sorry on that person's behalf.
I wish I could make everybody respect you like I respect you.
As much as I cut people off, I always go right behind the trucks if I have to. I do not cut right in front of them because they put their buffer there because, you don't want to be getting right in front of a big 18-wheeler barreling down on you.
It takes them longer to brake.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
But did you know, is Anthony, is that the name?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that there's a perception that they're treated differently.
I didn't know that either.
Treated differently out west in California in particular? Like looked down upon?
Yeah, I didn't know that. But they got this totally different lifestyle, especially the long haul truck drivers, It's like they're camping in their car. But it's like I watch videos on TikTok of like day in the life of a truck driver, or like a get up in the morning, like you see them get up, get out of their bed, like put their bunk away, and some of them have like buddies where it's like two people, one person's sleeping, the other person's driving, and they'll like switch off to like really get somewhere. I think there's some couples that do some truck driving together.
Whoa.
Like
That's probably a YouTube couple that truck drives.
I think this is all very, very cool to me. I think
There's got to be
me
YouTube.
and you could do that.
There's got to be tag team truck drivers?
Tag team truck drivers. They're nice in there and they're huge, and
I've always
you're
loved the
delivering
idea
stuff that people need.
Having your own little space. I love
Yeah,
when I did my solo trip and finally did one of those.
No matter where you are, you're home.
Just like having your home in there, and there's a little place you can sleep in there, and you got food in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is a truck driver.
And the truck stop.
There's a truck driver
showers.
on TikTok who
That's interesting.
There's a truck driver on TikTok who shows you what he's eating, and it's just shit that he gets from a truck stop. And it'll be like,
you gotta watch yourself.
He'll be like, all right now, and he's got like a pickles and cheese and processed meat and all the stuff that I love, you know, and he's just like making a meal of it. I bet Truck Talk is probably, I haven't even thought about this. I've only seen that guy.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole world out there. I mean, the Alabama song, Roll On.
I think that's where we get it from.
That really shaped, I mean, it's such a great story. It kind of gives me chills and makes me tear up.
There's two Alabama songs that actually make me think about truck drivers. So you got Roll On, which is the story of a truck driver who gets stuck in a snowdrift.
Right.
And he's trying to get back home.
And he doesn't have a cell phone.
Doesn't have a way to get in touch. And then you got 40 Hour Week, where it goes through all the blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
And basically,
maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Just talks about the respect. It's the one behind the big rig.
Bringing in the load.
What a good song, man. Both of those songs are great.
It's
I'd
the
love to
plumber
shame-
bending over, fixing your commode.
I'd love to shame some of the trucking companies, though, on their payment practices, if I may.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear
Excellent.
it.
Just because I
yeah.
do love and respect the truck drivers and everything they do. Sometimes they will only pay the truck drivers based on miles traveled rather than hours. So it's really frustrating for truck drivers who get stuck in traffic, or they're at ports and they have to wait to unload their cargo and they're not getting paid for that time. So screw you, truck companies that don't properly pay your truck drivers anyway.
Wow.
Okay,
Bullshit.
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, look at that.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I have strong feelings about that.
Maybe you want to date a truck driver too?
Oh, truck drivers they're always gone.
Too much.
They're always going, unless they take me with them on some trips. No, I don't know. Well,
I think that's probably a hard
Think
part of
about
your
it.
job, truck drivers.
about
Being on the road so much,
yeah.
get lonesome.
Well, I'm
There's
glad
only
we
so
can-
much of a relationship you can have over a CB.
But I'm so glad, Anthony, that and other truck drivers who listen to Ear Biscuits that we
Yeah.
can keep you company out there on the road.
I love to hear that. And your seats are like super boingy.
And there's the springs under them.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, there's like this there's air cushioning and everything, including the seat itself. Whoo-wee, I bet you they got massage seats.
There's probably some really nice ones.
Probably comfortable, yeah, real
But you got to
comfortable.
work your way up.
Remember
to
your
that.
sunscreen, truck drivers.
On
Protect
that-
your skin.
that left arm
On that left
especially.
arm, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta you don't want that dark arm syndrome.
Yeah, you'll get age spots. I saw there's a female truck driver, and they were using her as an example of the need for sunscreen, and it was just like the left side of her neck and the left, like the aging of that part of her
Yeah.
body compared to the right profile was crazy.
Take care of yourself out there, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Over.
I do have a rec, and it is a book. I'm a big fan of Anne Lamott, the author. She's been writing for a really long time. Any book that she writes.
Would you call her a philosopher?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Spiritual edifier?
I would call her that, yes. But she also wrote a book that's about writing, which I found very helpful and encouraging and
Is that right?
illuminating, called Bird by Bird. It's kind of a classic in the writing community. It's been out for a long time.
Okay.
But I heard Rich Roll talking about it, who you had the pleasure of meeting, and I'm jealous.
Yep.
Rich Roll and his wife.
Julie.
Julie. Anyway, I'm still dealing with that. But Rich was talking to somebody on his podcast, which I listened to, and they were talking about Bird by Bird. And so I was like, I'm going to listen to it. And I listened, because they suggested listening to it, because I love, we have like every Anne Lamott book on our bookshelf in our living room. But her delivery is like just great. And also, like, she's very funny.
So if you're
And
into
her delivery is
what,
great.
you'll be into this book, though.
Well, if you're into anything creative, but it is very specifically about writing and you know, writing books, which is something that we have done from time to time. But it basically is about the process of creating and finding your voice and accessing the things inside you and your life experience that give you a voice that's like a fingerprint, you know.
Okay.
And I just love the way that she talks about life and highly recommend it. I think it would be helpful for anyone who's interested in creating anything, especially people who are writers, and anyone, which is everyone who is a writer who's dealt with any kind of creative block. Bird by Bird.
Bird by Bird. All right. This was fun. Thanks for hanging out and listening to us. Give us a call. Leave us a, I'll say 188 Earpod 1 is the number. Also, leave us a review wherever you're listening, especially if it's a good one. It helps.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Rhett Link. Today is my 40th birthday, and I just finished listening to a playlist from every year of my life. And now I can get back to listening to Ear Biscuits. I'm going to listen to it at 2 times speed because, no offense, you guys sound like the sloth from Zootopia at normal speed. But I love you, and I'm going to get back to listening and catch up. Happy birthday to me!